Hey, yo, how's it going? It's SixftHax here. Half for y'all today, the team builder for week number 2 of the GBA Season 9. Now, I want to say that this one is probably not going to be as long as week number 1. I know in week number 1 I mentioned that I was going to do lengthy team builders, but to be honest, kind of procrastinated, and I'm hopefully going to be able to get this up on Sunday because APA battle is not going up. No, hopefully this will be up on Saturday because APA is going to be pushed back and just it's been hectic, guys, so I'm sorry. But yeah, so regular team builder, lengthy ones will be back. So yeah, apologize to kind of mix it up on y'all so early on in the season here. But if you guys do enjoy the team builder, hit that thumbs up button down below. Let me know what you think about the squad that we are bringing for this week, and let me know what are potential mons you would have brought to this game if you were building for our opponent here, which unfortunately his team is not actually the Seattle Drizzlers this time. He is the Tennessee Trubish. I should probably update that if I don't forget. But yeah, we are facing Deathly I Am, a very awesome dude. Check him out. Channel and stuff will be down below, as well as a link to the amazing roster for this GBA GBA Season 9 Take 2. So yeah, looking at the team preview here, Marshadow just kind of does Marshadow things. It's really like he doesn't really have a good resist to my dual stab. What I am really scared of though going into this game is the Volcarona potentially burning me, so I gotta watch out for that. But Marshadow basically goes in, and that's probably gonna be the #1 mon that I put on this team, and then I can just build around it. But looking at his squad, he does have some very scary offensive mons of his own. Like Karen White and Hoopa Unbound are very difficult for me to switch in to just because of how disgustingly powerful they are. So I need to be careful with that. Mega Aggron plus Tapu Fini, I definitely expect to come because that is his best defensive core. Plus with Mega Aggron having Filter as its ability, it's only taken 3/4 the damage from super effective moves, which means this thing is ridiculously bulky. So I still definitely feel he's going to want to bring it. Gothitelle I think does have a chance to come, mainly because it's probably his best switch into my Medicham, my Mega Medicham, which kind of just smacks him. We have Virizion, which I'm actually low-key kind of scared of Virizion because the way I made this team, Virizion's dual stab is a little bit difficult to switch into. But if it's a potential choice set, which it could be something like Choice Scarf, just to kind of revenge kill things, I could see that just because of its again, its dual stab is just so good against us in this matchup. So a little bit worried about that. Nihilego and Staraptor, I'm a little bit iffy on whether or not they come. Staraptor could potentially come just because it's his only ghost immunity, and he doesn't want my Marshadow to be something like Bandit and just spam Spectral Thief and Shadow Sneak for free. So I could definitely see Staraptor coming. As for Flygon, I don't think Flygon and Staraptor come, just because they kind of do the same things, but Flygon I guess can try to Dragon Dance, which it's not that big of an issue because he could very well expect us to have Scarf Garchomp, which outspeeds that, as well as Scarf Staraptor and +1 Volcarona, which Volcarona is also a little bit of an issue because it could be offensive Z move. If it's like Buginium Z, it could like just power through the best answer that I have for it, which is my Snorlax. So do want to be very careful with that. And then Magnezone, I have 2 ground types. I don't think Magnezone comes, but if it does, I still want to be safe if I do bring the Ferrothorn. So let's go ahead and jump into our first mon, which, as I mentioned, was going to be Marshadow, just because, again, its dual typing is ridiculously good in this matchup, considering that he does not have the best ways of being able to switch into Marshadow in the first place. And I know it may seem odd to kind of be Choice Scarf when I could just be Choice Band and do ridiculous damage, but what I'm very, very terrified of is potential Scarfers. I really feel like he's gonna bring 1 or 2 Scarfers guaranteed, and Marshadow basically just gets rid of that entirely, and I don't have to worry about it whatsoever. So that was my main mentality. Plus, as a revenge killer, Marshadow is just purely amazing. So yeah, dual stab obviously smacks him. Rock Tomb is really just for the what's it called, the Volcarona, in case it is able to quiver dance. Even if it's bulky, it's going to be doing a lot of damage. And then Shadow Sneak is there just on the off chance that he brings a potential setup Hoopa, Z setup. I think somebody in my front office, my boy Shaco King 87, mentioned Z Switcheroo or Z Snatch, where it gives Hoopa Unbound +2 speed, and I could go Jolly Nature to be Choice Scarf to outspeed Hoopa, but I really don't expect that set, so I figured if anything, Shadow Sneak still does good damage. Another option was also potentially Facade. Facade was on there for the longest time until I was finally convinced to switch it. And I mean, Shadow Sneak still has some merit, so hopefully it comes in handy, but Facade would have been nice in case his switch into my Marshallow's stab is Volcarona and he hopes just to burn me with the flame body. Yes, he could have Tapu Fini, but I mean the terrain's not going to be up for the entire battle, so yeah, I kind of still want to have Facade, but Shadow Sneak should be fine. So next off, we have making his debut, Mega Medicham here, and Mega Medicham pretty much destroys Deathly's team. His walls aren't necessarily that great. His best answers to this are Tapu Fini and Gothitelle, both of which don't have any form of reliable recovery, and he can't run rest on Fini, and he can't run, well, he could potentially not run rest on Gothitelle because of the misty terrain. Although he has used Reflect Gothitelle before. I think he used it in week 1, but I'm not sure if he is going to want to bring that type of set. Potentially a Scarf set is actually what could be a little bit annoying because it can trap and potentially revenge kill, and that would be really annoying. Anyways, even if he does bring Gothitelle for my Mega Medicham, I have Baton Pass. Baton Pass is going to be amazing in this matchup, so I can just go ahead and get up on out of there. Or if I'm able to substitute as he brings it in, then I can Baton Pass out of sub and then go from there, and that would be amazing. Between High Jump Kick and Psycho Cut, we basically hit everything pretty hard. It would be nice to maybe have Bullet Punch, but I'm not really too concerned about a Scarf Kyurem if I'm able to get up my hazards, and I'm not really too concerned about Nihilego because of my defensive mons, so I didn't really feel like it was worth having Bullet Punch on the set. Plus, again, if I can substitute and Baton Pass into one of my offensive mons, that's going to be absolutely phenomenal, and with hazards up, it's going to be good game. And speaking of hazards, we have our Stealth Rocker here in the form of Nidoking, aka Chomp. Now, honestly, I could have potentially put Garchomp over Nidoking now that I'm thinking about it, but the main thing that I really liked about Nidoking is that this is able to hit Tapu Fini for a stab super effective move. Yeah, I could have gone like Poisonium Z on my Garchomp, but if I waste that option, then Poison Jab is not going to be doing too much damage to Fini. At least Nidoking can definitely tank a Moonblast, and I can also live one Scald from full HP because I don't expect an offensive Tapu Fini. So Sludge Wave is going to be doing ridiculous damage even if it's running a Poison Weakening Berry. If I get rid of Tapu Fini, then that's one less answer to my Marshadow and my Mega Medicham. And then if he wants to bring Gothitelle, we have the Shed Shell, which we could use to catch him off guard. So I really thought that this was going to do a lot better than Garchomp if it really came down to it. And I believe we are running enough speed to outspeed Adamant Hoopa. I want to say that's what the speed is for, because I remember having less speed and I got paranoid if he was going to bring Hoopa. It's not going to be plus speed nature, so it could just be like Adamant. So I was like, I can at least outrun that. So I'm pretty sure that was for Hoopa Unbound. And then we just have a bunch of HP to tank a hit from something. The special attack investments still allow our dual stab with Ice Beam to do a really good amount of damage to things. We weren't going to be able to OHKO many things as it is, or if we could OHKO them, they outsped us or they beat us. So yeah, I figured going with a more bulky spread was a better option here. So if the plan goes accordingly, I will be able to pressure Tapu Fini and get on my hazards, and my offense can just go in. And speaking of my offense, we have Velveteen, aka Darkrai, and this set was actually made by my boy Shaco King 87, mentioned him earlier, and shouts out to the other front office homies, Mr. Harris and my boy Kelly under the radar. So the great thing about Darkrai in this match is that because of my speed tiers, I basically outspeed everything on his team, if I'm not mistaken. As fast as Mon is Virizion, so I can run Modest. Now again, I really do expect them to bring 1 or 2 Scarfers potentially, just because my speed tiers are so good in this match. But regardless, Modest Darkrai just kind of goes in against his team. All 4 of these offensive moves do hit everything that he has, and whatever combination of 6 he can bring. Sludge Bomb is amazing too, because that does a lot of damage to Virizion if we are able to get up our hazards. And we've already seen our Stealth Rocker, and I'm about to show you guys our Spiker. But if hazards do go up, Darkrai comes in and I just kind of click a button, so that's going to be pretty good. And here is our Spiker. Of course it's going to be Ferrothorn, aka Thorn Swoggle. And it's just really the standard Ferrothorn spread. Like, Ferrothorn doesn't really need to do anything fancy in this battle. It just has to come in and hopefully get up spikes. And because I can beat Tapu Fini, I can pressure that potentially. And then again, once Fini is gone, any hazard I get up is going to be there to stay. I mean, I guess he could bring Staraptor. If it is a defensive variant of Staraptor, it could be Defog. But even then, I can lead seed it. Gyro Ball should still be doing some decent damage, and if I am able to get up rocks, it's taking 25% every single time, and then upon contact, I can chip it down with Iron Barb. So I'm not really too concerned about his hazard removal, and I really don't think that Volcarona is going to be defog in this game. So hopefully we can get up spikes and get up rocks, and as you saw, our offense is pretty good in this matchup. And then finally off, we have Bam Bam, aka Snorlax. Snorlax is here to fulfill quite a few roles. This is our switch in, or hopefully, see, my hopes for Snorlax in this match is that even if it doesn't necessarily get a kill, it can still pivot and at least try to take hits twice. So it can avoid a potential 2 KO 2 times is what I'm trying to do. And then from there, I can maybe try to squeeze in an offensive move or potentially a recycle. So that's kind of what I'm treating Snorlax in this match, because I need this to basically switch into Kyurem, Hoopa, potentially Gothitelle, Nihilego, even Staraptor, Flygon maybe, Virizion, even Magnezone. Basically, Snorlax is just here to kind of be like, oh, this is an offensive threat that I can't switch into, Snorlax, so here you go. So yeah, we're just kind of shoehorning Snorlax in the face of any offensive mon that is not Virizion that is going to attack us. So that's the job of Snorlax in this match. And along with that, we obviously do need to prevent setup. So we have Whirlwind to phase out the Volcarona, and if we are able to get up hazards, see, keep it like hazards are so good in this game if we do get them up, which I really feel like we can. Because we do pressure his hazard removal, but then we can start whirlwinding and even doing chip damage. Although that may not necessarily happen, I still just need Snorlax to kind of come in, take a hit, and do what it does. So yeah, that is going to be our squad here, guys, for week number 2 of the GBA. Again, sorry this was really fast. I will get back to the regular ones next week. Leave a like, let me know what you thought about it. But yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow with the battle itself. So yeah, later, everybody.